Welcome to the Tea Party with Marty Abernathy, a show by an ultra-feminine, meek, shy, totally unopinionated trans woman that seeks to listen to both sides and does not make fun of TERFs. You've listened to the show, right? You still want me to say this? Okay. Here's your host, Marty Abernathy.
Fuck it, we'll do it live!
We'll do it live! We'll do it live! And in that clip, Bill Rye, as a confident professional, did it right. Hey, and that's the end of our show tonight, and we're going to lead it all out there with some YouTube. Thanks for coming.
If anybody's wondering, that voice in the dark is Jonathan.
Hello.
Uh-oh, I have a problem.
Yeah.
I have a loop. I have a loop-de-loop. I'm not sure how to fix it.
You have a loop-de-loop, yes. It's just like, I clicked on something else, as it were.
That's all right. I can fix this. Yeah, here's the thing. This is the first time that we're doing this via the Tea Party Discord. So, Jonathan started out kind of, and then it was fine. So we shall see. Let's see if one of my other cameras works. Okay, this is dangerous, folks. This is dangerous because I only have one other camera that's working. So I have three cameras, a generic USB that's working. People see it on the screen now, see me in two places. I'm going to click that off for a minute. But this camera here is a C270, which is an older camera that I just happen to have because I've been using it for a snap camera. And well, wouldn't you know, I had to reboot. I just got home at about 20 till, so I was like, well, this is not going to be fun. But actually, for the picture isn't exactly where oh God, I just killed my camera. Oh my God. My camera.
Don't worry, we're not professionals here.
Like literally, I just tried to move. I'm like, oh fuck, we're not fuck. We don't. Oh. I'm the anti-professional. I like when I didn't break it at the very least.
Not yet.
Let's try this again. Burp. There we go. How about I leave well enough alone? We can't do that. Fuck that. That's no fun. I was gonna say the video on this is actually fairly decent.
Yes, it is.
I just want to scoot it over a little bit so I'm more in the middle. Jonathan, I have actually some content for you today.
Oh, you do? Oh yes. And it's like, finally, I have come back. I decided to take a full stream off because of your different opinions on religion, as it were, which was such a thing that I just mildly disagree on your position on religion, as it were.
How dare you mildly disagree?
In all truth, I wasn't in the stream on the Sunday show, Wednesday shows, because I was actually working. Sometimes I actually have work to do.
How dare you actually work? I mean, what kind of fucking communist are you?
I know. I used to be able to like work 12-hour days, and even though like management would be upset with that, my manager would be like, "Could you? You should probably try to like get your hours down." But now they got a like new manager, a new lead who is actually going to be on my ass for like not like working for working 12 hours, working overtime as needed as it were, more than needed as it were. So I can't really get away with like what I was like doing before, and actually it's like, okay, I only got 9 hours to do my job, so I'm gonna like have to actually do the work as it were. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought of maybe bringing him? Oh, I know what. Here, I have a video for him.
Okay. And it's the him, so you're actually you guessed correctly. You assumed correctly.
If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it. If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist.
Maybe.
If a person supports organizations which reflect communist teachings, or organizations labeled communist by the Department of Justice,
I support imperialists.
she may be a communist. If a person defends the activities of communist nations while consistently attacking the domestic and foreign policy of the United States, she may be a communist. If a person does all these things over a period of time, he must be a communist.
Imagine
There
there's
are
Emma
other
Goldman up
communists
there,
who don't
or
show
like a
their
suffragette.
real faces, who work more silently.
I just had an idea. I know who somebody that might be able to do something with this. See if I can bring
What?
this.
Okay.
Recognize the face.
I'm gonna watch it on the stream in like a few seconds. Okay, now, okay.
Jeff.
Yes, Jeff Foxworthy.
You may be a communist if. Oh well, we've got quite a few. Quite a few. We've got quite a few viewers, but only you in the chat, which is kind of weird. But anyways, I'm not gonna judge. I actually have another video for you, Jonathan.
Okay.
A lot of these, I don't know if it was purposeful or not, but did you happen to catch the last show?
I caught most of it. Basically, I did like watch the replay a lot of it up into like the 2-hour mark, essentially.
How dare you not watch all of it? Did you happen to see the history video?
I did see that history video. That was awesome.
The heads chopping at the French Revolution.
Yes. Oh yeah, that was great. That was actually great. And this like and the Roethlisberger person decided, let's chop out everyone's heads. Everyone I disagree with, to chop off the head until someone decided, okay, you go into the guillotine now.
Yeah, exactly. So there's two of them that I want to play for you.
One thing that I think gets lost in the conversation about landlording is that a lot of like middle class, left-leaning liberals, the type of person who might be lucky enough to inherit a house, these people don't recognize that owning a house is such an enormous privilege. Most of the poorest working class Americans will never, ever, ever get to experience home ownership. And even if they do, the debt might be devastating for them. There's so many of these types of people who seem to think that, like, well, buying a home is easy. Like, just go buy a home. It's not that easy. And these types of attitudes, in my opinion, are so fucking classist.
That and this is a genius take, I think.
I have nothing to say. Just this comment.
It's almost like landlords.
It's glorious. It's beautiful.
It's almost like landlords are really just scalpers by a different name.
It's It's like a fine wine. It's incredible. I just love it.
Thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. Because even who was it? Thomas Paine, I think, or like someone else. Like really, just like I think even Adam Smith said that like even like landlords themselves don't really like add anything to like the labor theory of value or that kind of like production. They don't. They just like. No, they just extract wealth from wealth of the nations. They just extract it. They don't do anything with it. Yeah, okay, and like in the capitalist view, or this capitalist view, or the liberal capitalist view, it's like, oh, but they get to reinvest it, and it's just like, okay, listen. Labor theory of value is just like there's always an extraction of value each and every time, and every single cycle of this sort of thing. It's the math. It's hard to understand, but like either way. Everyone is the landlords are especially extracting from value, and especially they're one of the worst ones because, like, well, people need a home, and once you monopolize that market, then you have a dedicated like user base, as it were, and such that will like guarantees you income, as it were. But like when you're exploiting a weakness in a way or a necessity, something like that, yeah. And this thing is like, I know it's common for us to say land leeches, but the thing is, leeches actually serve a medical purpose. So leeches are more valuable than landlords.
Very true. Very true. I tend to think like, I mean, unlike Christy Summers, I tend to think that I A, know what hyperbole is, and B, I can separate the job from the person. I mean, it's the same kind of fucking ACAB and Kill All Landlords. It's pretty much the same thing.
Just like kill men.
Exactly. It's fucking, I mean, you know what? I think maybe Twitter broke hyperbole as a thing.
I mean, well, satire is dead because, like, I was actually fooled by this. A friend made a meme of Jeff Bezos paying his employee well for ending world hunger. But buying the fucking Catholic Church? And that's all I thought. Is this real? Google search it. Found a HuffPo article. Oh my god, it's real! And then I acted for like a few hours as it's real. Someone asked for a source. Here's a HuffPo article I found. To which the others pointed out, this was a satire piece. And then they pointed out different things. No sources. It was just a contributor. And from like years ago. And you're like, oh god, you're right. It was a satire piece. It was the Huffington Post acting like the Onion. Well, I was fooled. But you know what? Considering that Jeff Bezos just got like $10 billion of subsidies from a senator of Maria Campo in Washington State, I think Jeff Bezos would at least entertain the possibility of having them owning the market on Catholicism.
Well, he probably has as much money as they do.
Yeah, very possible.
So did you know that you're a criminal?
Oh yes. Well, here's in a couple of ways. I know that I'm a criminal that I'm an anarchist, and criminal anarchy is a thing in Washington State and many others. But B, see, the thing is, like, from 2007 to 2013, I almost daily committed a Class C felony because I played online poker, which is was always a misdemeanor, but became a Class C felony in Washington State since June of 2007.
Well, I technically wasn't talking about that. I actually was talking about, and Jonathan, I am gonna recreate this loop, I apologize.
No problem.
Because I want you to be able to see this without because I won't. I'm not gonna. I'll click off this off the screen. I'll click. You're gonna.
There we go.
So you don't see anything now. You just see my screen, right?
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, first off, well, this was kind of funny. This is Biden. I don't know if you saw this.
How would it be if the United States were viewed by the rest of the world as interfering with the elections directly of other countries, and everybody knew it?
Yeah, and there's a full Wikipedia article, and it's just like, even like recently, Bolivia, in 2019, or like Venezuela, they said like,
look at how fast they're fucking they're
and that person was like,
holy fucking shit. Okay, so how does this make you a domestic terrorist? Well, let's have a look.
Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist.
Y'all ain't rocking with oppressive systems? Terrorist. No, but for real though, what's the harm in opposing an oppressive system like capital?
I don't know if you saw that.
Metal Alchemist.
Y'all ain't.
Anarchists. I had this here about this, that like anarchists are considered domestic terrorists. Yeah.
Domestic violent extremism posed heightened threat in 2021. This is from the Director of National Intelligence.
Anarchists, violent extremists, DVs, oppose of all forms of capitalism, corporate globalization, and governing institutions which are perceived as harmful to society.
Yeah, so
Alchemist.
Y'all ain't rocking with oppressive systems? Terrorist. No, but for real though, what's the harm in opposing an oppressive system like capitalism? No, what's the actual harm? I don't think I have outright heard a president talk about capitalism, like utter the fucking words capitalism, like not in a speech or anything. They literally say just what they need to get your fucking vote, and we still fall for it every fucking time. Their actions have shown us who they are here for. They're not here for the people. Just go against any sort of power structure that they have here in this country, and look what they'll label you. I have gotten to the point where I just don't even want to engage with people who just talk about party lines. Conservatives, this is your guy. He has your fucking values.
yeah, so yeah, isn't that special?
Yes, it's like, but even in the summer, that Biden did made a statement before the general about like last summer. I mean, oh my god, like time is so weird. So I remember the primary election as just like yesterday, but it was last summer. Biden did like talked about like violent anarchists then, so I'm not surprised that like that he made the statement now.
The only problem is it gets much worse.
Mm.
Let's see if I can. I'm gonna turn up my green screen because that camera just isn't. That's just crap today.
I don't fucking know if it's a lie or it's a fact.
So I don't. Look at this. Oppose all forms of capitalism.
Yep.
Extremists who violently oppose all forms of capitalism. That's their definition. God damn it.
Just
mute.
Yep. Those though every hand is turning against us, we will stand against them.
That's the thing. I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, these people are just fucking. I mean, they want to talk about democracy. That's the thing. They want to talk about democracy What the fuck? To me, if you have people who you think are like, democracy is all about voting the way you want things to go. There is nothing in the Constitution that says that this has to be a capitalist nation. Absolutely nothing. And if there was a will, a political will, it could be changed tomorrow, but there's not. And I'm back on camera.
I'm just going to tweet it out. I am Some Random Geek, and I oppose all forms of capitalism.
That's the thing. They've turned you into a fucking terrorist, basically.
I mean, considering the kangaroo trials that happened to like the 8 anarchists and the Haymarket affair, I'm not surprised.
Well, I thought we'd moved on a little bit, but yeah. By the way, did you see the whole Juneteenth thing? The holiday that they've made.
Yep.
So
I think there's a Roots article that I haven't read yet, but kind of like I said, they of all the things that they were able to quickly do, make Juneteenth the holiday was one of the things. Defending voters' rights, stop police violence, reparations. There was another thing is like a decriminalization of a lot of things and expunging records. No, they're not going to do any of those things, but they'll make Juneteenth a holiday as a way of saying we did something.
Yeah, and there was a in fact, Jonathan, no, you can't. Are you watching the stream, by the way?
Yes, I am.
What's difficult, I'm gonna have to figure out. I want you guys to be able to see what like I'm playing. But at the same time being able to switch back and forth. I'm not sure how to do that yet, but
yeah, that part was easier to do in Restream, yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, I like Restream in a lot of ways, but I have this. It's from my home automation kind of world. I want everything to be as local as possible. So I tend to not. I try to do things in OBS and just kind of use Restream as my kind of platform for jumping off to different for multiple platforms. I'm gonna turn this back. I don't think you guys can. Streamer mode is enabled, so you can't see anything. So there we go. All right, so ooh, where's my window? Come on. There we go. There we go. All right. So I found this earlier in the day. I found this. First, I'm going to play this one. No sound.
Say BLM. They make Juneteenth a holiday and do other type of symbolic gestures. But they continue the war on drugs. They continue to deny millions of people health care, and they continue to allow millions of people to rack up student loan debt and other things that disproportionately affect Black and brown communities. Once again, this is one of Malcolm X's white liberal type of quote. This could pretty much describe the Democratic Party. They give us this symbolic shit, but continue the militaristic and imperialistic, cruel policies. And they continue this grotesque neoliberal capitalism with a more diverse group at the top. But rainbow capitalism won't save us.
So there was that one, which I thought was pretty on point. But then I came across this.
It's that time of year, everyone. The Juneteenth Toyotathon is finally here. Come on down and emancipate yourself with 2022 Silverado. It's Macy's annual Juneteenth to Remember sales event. Come on in for our 3/5 off sale. Happy Juneteenth, everyone. Come on in to Target to see our new line of fashionable dashikis. Come on down to KFC to get our new Juneteenth bucket of fried chicken. Here at Coca-Cola, we too have a dream. So come and celebrate freedom with our new watermelon flavor, only for a limited time.
So I saw that this morning or early morning, and then this comes across my feed.
So I just got an advertisement text message. Yeah. So that happened.
Not even a joke. Not even a fucking joke. Already, you have motherfuckers trying to monetize Juneteenth. It's been a holiday, what? Less than a couple days?
Yes. It's kind of like the thing is like okay, so from school I do know about the Emancipation Proclamation and like why we actually were in the Civil War, as it were, because like at least my school district did teach me that, but the actual date of Juneteenth wasn't. If I did learn that in school, I forgot it. I remember some of the other stuff, but I didn't know about Juneteenth until like last year, as essentially being more aware about like all this other like history as it were. Which again, if you grew up white and in like the UK, Australia, probably New Zealand too, and like America, and you are not racist, then you're a miracle, or you educated yourself to like be so.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I hadn't heard of Juneteenth at all for quite a long time. Probably within the last 4 or 5 years. Of course, you probably got out of high school 4 or 5 years ago, so.
Over 2003 was the last time I graduated from high school. As if there was like more than one time I graduated from high school, which is only one time, and it was in 2003. Barely, though.
Yeah, Jonathan, that could be kind of creepy. I graduated multiple times. That would be a no. So I couldn't believe how fucking quick they were to fucking weaponize this shit. By the way, Jonathan, I want to see if this is actually going to work. Because I'm gonna try to do. Oh, whoa! Hold on. So, what games have you been playing on your stream? Because I saw that you streamed last night.
The other night I played Borderlands 2, some other games I've streamed. Hello there. What I streamed recently has been what did I stream recently? Borderlands 2 Dead Cells. So yes, I did exfoliate. And I know I've often played Stardew Valley as well, but I still feel like a capitalist playing Stardew Valley. If only the money I earn in Stardew Valley, I can then give to my disabled comrades that are in need. Maybe they our comrade that just joined Nicole, Jamie J, could use some money too. Hello there.
How's everybody?
We just saw capitalism appropriate the Juneteenth holiday to advertise, hey, get your Juneteenth bundle today.
Oh my fucking god.
Is it really shocking though? Is it really that shocking? Is that really surprise? I mean, Jesus.
I'll make a really inappropriate joke.
Is it about Jesus?
No.
Damn it. I was waiting for the inappropriate joke, but that's just me.
Oh, I can't. I didn't know if I was allowed to. I was waiting for permission. It's your show.
Do you think there's any fucking rules on this show? God damn.
Oh, I'm waiting for the 3/5 off sale.
Well, well. You just
Yep.
Hold on. Here we go. Oh, where in the fuck did it go? Oh, I definitely have something inappropriate for later. But
what have you started?
It's that time of year, everyone. The Juneteenth Toyotathon is finally here. Come on down and emancipate yourself a 2022 Silverado. It's Macy's annual Juneteenth to Remember sales event. Come on in for our 3/5 off sale. Happy Juneteenth,
Jesus.
everyone. Come on in to Target to see our new line of fashionable dashikis. Come on down to KFC to get our new Juneteenth bucket of fried chicken. Here at Coca-Cola, we too have a dream. So come and celebrate freedom with our new watermelon flavor, only for a limited time.
Oh no. Oh no.
So somebody already made your joke. But
well, it's better that she did than I.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And did you know that you are illegal, Jamie?
Am I?
Yes, you are a criminal.
Well, yeah, I knew
that. But anarchists are decreed to be domestic terrorists, a anarchist who opposes all forms of capitalism.
Under Oregon state law, I don't believe that any laws like that exist, but under most states, yes.
Oh, this is a federal.
Yes.
This is
what? Oh, this new?
Well.
Yep.
Well. It's here we go. Hold on.
And hey, nerd teacher, and nice to see that you snuck in here early.
It's excuse me, it's late for nerd teacher, I believe.
Please. Well, that's what they said.
Well, early as in what?
Early. I see. I misread.
I'm just trying. Unfortunately, I had to reboot. I had to reboot my computer. I had everything set up on my computer, and now everything is not set up with my linky dinks.
Mm-hmm.
But I found this is funny. Biden signs Juneteenth bill. great nations don't ignore their most painful moments. Along with that clip that I played about Biden fucking saying, "What if the rest of the world thought that we were here."
Yeah, yeah.
If the
Oh,
United
yeah, that's
States
what.
were viewed by the rest of the world as interfering with the elections directly of other countries.
You wondered that, Biden. You know, the rest of the world already has opinions on America interfering with their elections. We shouldn't have a betting poll for when that's going to happen to Peru, because. But then again, we laugh in order to prevent ourselves from crying. But we should also find out any mutual aid and solidarity networks in Peru and help them out for when they need it, when the U.S. will do their thing.
But you know,
if not the U.S. or U.K. You go ahead.
You know that's going to fucking happen. That's the sad part.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when.
Even my Congressman Adam Smith in Washington State, not the author in Wealth of Nations, I think thinks that Juan Guaido is the real president, the official president, the actual president of Venezuela, as opposed to Maduro. And it's just like, Maduro actually won the election. I mean, he was just the vice president of Gonzalez, the previous Hugo Gonzalez, I think, the previous president of Venezuela, who was popular amongst his people.
He was democratically elected. Maduro. I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
Oh, God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. So yeah, I want to get back on Jonathan. You said you were playing Dead Cells, and what else were you playing? Because when I watch you, you're usually doing the whole farming thing.
Stardew Valley, yes.
And what were you saying as far as getting money from that?
It's in-game I earn currency, and in fact, in Stardew Valley on my last stream, I did get the achievement of being a millionaire. That was the actual achievement, because I earned $1 million from my farm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's still kind of like a view in a capitalist way. So it's not a communist farm, that's for sure. I can give my money away, though. There's ways for me to improve the community with my wealth, though. But it's with my wealth and then prosperity that my farm has produced.
I have no idea what you're talking about as far as
in Stardew Valley. It's a farming simulator, and part of it is is producing and selling crops.
No, I mean, with Jonathan, I usually come into his stream and make comments about communism and creating worker co-ops, and if he's going to do that on the farm.
Oh, gotcha.
So he needs to be a little bit more, put his money where his mouth is on the farm, instead of becoming Jeff Bezos.
My farmer actually does work.
That's true. That is fair.
Aren't you just seizing the means of oh God, I had it there for a minute. I was going to make a word pun. God damn it.
But then you remember that Julie would kick you off the podcast if you make a terrible pun.
That's the beautiful thing about this. She supports this show along with you guys. And Julie does, and David
Where is
does.
she? Why is she not here right now?
I don't know. She has that. I don't know. She's affectionate with the cat.
I gotta kick Julie's ass, I guess.
I don't think she's been on this show.
Has she not?
I don't think she's ever been on this show. She's been in chat, but I think that maybe she just intimidated by the massive audience.
Or that she, if she knew that she will be like, if that she goes on a stream, then it'll be, or it's like you and me on a stream as well, then we will then Julie will come on and join, and then we'll talk for 9 hours straight.
That never happened. That never happened.
You're right, it was only 8 hours.
Oh my god. So like a lot of people said vote blue no matter who back around the election. I'm kind of
Yeah.
what do you guys what do you think about that, as far as, because I feel I watch a lot of YouTube with a communist. His name's well, he just changed his name from Comrade Thanos to Comrade Cuddles, but he was a Marxist Leninist, I think, an ML, but
still yet to discover anarchism. I understand.
No, he's not real. He thinks the praxis is kind of. I don't want to go there, but he has been big on saying that people that vote for the closet racist versus the open and out racist, there's not a lot of difference between Biden and Trump. And he calls him a segregationist, which is fair enough given his fucking history. But I sit there and every time he says something like that, I sit there and think, fuck. When it comes to foreign policy, he's fucking right. Is there really any difference between Trump and Biden when it comes to foreign policy?
I mean, yeah, like weeks ago when Kamala Harris went down to Guatemala to talk to the Guatemalan president and Mexico president, Kamala Harris said to the Guatemalan migrants, "Do not come to America. Don't make that trek."
Yeah.
I mean, don't, because it's terrible here, but
but then again, it's just like, why is like the Guatemalans have a terrible like situation like theirs is? You go back through Guatemala's history, America was involved too. Interfering with elections? No, America never did that. They did that in 1954 in Guatemala, put in a dictator so that the Chibana banana company, or the United Fruit Company, got cheap bananas, and then we did it again in Guatemala in the 80s. And that's part of just like the long list of so many different places that we interfered.
Well, in the Guatemalan death squads that we supported. I mean, it's just, I mean, the history is replete with these kind of examples of America just being a fucking piece of shit. I mean, I just, there's part of me that wishes that I never would have gotten on Twitter or social media, so I didn't have to know this stuff, because I mean, I'm glad I know it on one end, but on the other end, I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, there's very little that has been truly good about America at the end of the day. And that fucks me up a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, oh, by the way, I am going to bring the browser up here for a minute. I want to play this TikTok. This is from, you won't be able to see it, but I'm going to play the audio from it. This is a Republican. This is a fucking Republican from Florida Republican.
Oh, we have access to a hit squad too. Ukrainians and Russians.
Damn.
You did not fucking hear that from me.
I hear what? Like, I mean, that's.
Oh no, you're not gonna be. I mean, you're.
This is a Republican, William Braddock, running for Congress in Florida, and he still hasn't been arrested for this.
You're not gonna be a part of it regardless. But I'm just saying, don't get caught in public like supporting Luna, because Luna supporters are going. Luna's going to go down, and I hope it's by yourself. The polling people are going to charge me $20,000 to go poll right before the primary. And if the poll says Luna's going to win, she's going to be gone. She's going to disappear.
She's going to be gone. She's going to disappear.
How do we make her go?
I call up my Russian and Ukrainian hit squad, and then within 24 hours, they're sending me pictures of her disappearing.
Oh, dang.
No, I'm not joking. Like,
wow.
We have access to a hit squad too.
No, I'm not joking. Is that not fucked up? Is that not pretty fucking... I mean, just right out there. Hit squads.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Russian Ukrainian hit squad could disappear rival. I'm just, there's a lot that I mean, my stepdad used to say a lot of the stuff about people wearing cement shoes and all that stuff, and but literally this is it in the open with politics. I'm just that dumbfounded me when I heard that. But
it's because of the COVID-19 restrictions that unfortunately America has to perform their political coups at home.
Yeah, well, that's what it seems like. By the way, I wanted to tell you guys this, in case you didn't realize it.
Ukrainians and Russians.
Oh, no, don't want to play that again. Hold on. You need to know that this is very important. Very important.
Back to Tatanka here. You know, a lot of folks.
Very important news. Helen Lewis says there's too much life in our work-life balance.
What?
Boy?
There's too much life in our work-life balance.
I disagree. Strongly.
DJ Cthulhu says capitalism says increase productivity, less life all the time. So I'm not surprised by that. They're usually less blatant though. I shit you not. The slog of our day-to-day existence is making us shockingly unproductive.
So he's then going to figure out we gotta figure out how to work while we sleep. There's too much sleep being done. We gotta sleep less to work more.
Well, and there was a post from this nerd teacher person that I found pretty interesting. She said it's some person that's on the internet. I mean, I found them.
They sound cool.
Is there a point where people can recognize someone has endured harassment, sometimes because they have a large platform, B, that same someone can also engage in harassment campaigns against people and refuse accountability? Contrapoints. Because I'm getting very tired of the range of cancel culture re-explored videos from the left, focusing on people who fit both those categories. And you can you can empathize because they're going through point A, but stop denying point B. Some of these people who've, quote, been canceled and somehow grew their platforms as a result of it, again, ContraPoints, could talk about being canceled on talk about being canceled on popular media, have very literally harmed people I know directly and tangibly. Am I saying they haven't endured abuse, toxicity, and harassment? No. But every time you use those people as examples and refuse to acknowledge the very real harm that they have done to people who legitimately have fled platforms to exist, have to rebuild, it's a problem. There are people who have legitimately lost space and safety who are better examples of what you're talking about, but they're not visible because they've been spoken over. They're not visible because they don't get any space in popular media. This drives me nuts. This drives me up so many fucking walls, because the same conversation of people who want nuanced conversation make the same binary conversation and bring up the same examples. And those same examples have hurt people and have interfered in people's livelihoods. And here's a point of irony. People name search those examples. They have fans who get upset on their behalf and attack people who use their names. So we won't, or we self-censor. So maybe it should be a good indicator of the ecosystem they exist in. And I'm just like, fuck. I've seen this so many times, especially on Twitter. I've seen it from people like ContraPoints. I've seen it from atheists. Oh, fuck. A nerd teacher in the chat said that is exactly who I was talking about. And Lindsay. Yeah. Well, and that's straight to, I mean, there are so many people that, I mean, the ContraPoints will go after one fucking little tiny account that made a comment that wasn't even about, that didn't even at her, that just mentioned ContraPoints, but didn't at her at all. What do they call that in Twitter
subtweeting
terms? Yeah, subtweet. They subtweeted them. How is that fucking canceling anybody? You know, that's just, you're not making, I mean, it's not even, you can't even, you could search it, I guess, but, and people are searching those people. That's the thing. People are searching those people out now and dogpiling the fuck out of them. You know, and how being one of those people, especially in what was it, opulence? I think was it opulence?
Yeah.
One of the people that made one of those tweets. I mean, literally, how many people have they had? I bet you most of those people. Nerd teacher says, help, I've been canceled. I wrote for the New York Times. Oh, well, actually, it was The Hill.
So wait, I'm canceled because I don't write for the New York Times, or I can't write for the New York Times or The Hill? This is unfair.
No, that's proof that you have never been canceled. You've never faced hardship. You don't even have like your own column.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's literally like, I'm not shitting you. YouTube star ContraPoints discusses calling cancel culture a modern guillotine. She literally did a Hill TV interview.
I think this was the recent Hill TV article interview she did, where she said like, Buck Angel just has some like old, outdated opinions.
Well, and the thing is, she not only I'm gonna.
Oh, it's a Guardian article recently.
Article.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was referring to. Yeah.
Was that the most recent one where she literally talked about Buck Angel being still being her hero?
Yes.
After all
That
that.
was
After all that. And
I remember because it was hilarious to me that that she went to the Guardian, as if that didn't make her seem like a massive turf.
She's not a turf, she's a turf token. I mean,
that's true, but you know, technicalities.
Okay, it's like the difference between like I tripped, I suppose I fell.
Well, you know, a little of this, a little of that. I really need you guys to. I'm gonna switch back over because I really need you. There's a video that I'm gonna play for you guys because I need to be really super serious for this. It's very important.
I apologize in advance for whatever jokes I make about it.
Okay. All right.
I'll try my best to be serious about this.
Okay. Okay.
Well.
Well. Oh my God. Oh fuck. I just killed my fucking VLC. Hopefully. No. God damn it. I suck. Hold on. Well, I'm just gonna play this this video. So this is on the topic of kink shaming. So I need you guys to like really like focus on not doing that. It's very important that you don't do that.
Don't y'all dare start saying this damn giraffe. They had a pandemic too.
Hold on. There we go.
We cannot see this.
There we go. There we go.
I mean, we can see this, but nobody on stream can see this.
Don't y'all dare start
No, they
saying
should
this
be able
damn
to see it.
giraffe.
Yeah, on stream.
They had a pandemic too. Live your life, girl.
I mean, hey, the giraffe was hungry.
No, I've been there. I get it. Sometimes you just can't be picky.
Yeah.
Well, and
sometimes you just take what is offered to you, you know?
you work with what you've
What's
got.
available. Yeah.
You work with what you've got. So, yeah, I just wanted to be serious there for a minute.
I appreciate it. That was an important topic.
We must concern ourselves with the giraffe's needs as well.
So, I don't know if you guys saw this. This was big on TikTok. So I'm gonna play it, and I want to get you guys' reaction. So this is a challenge, actually.
Turn it off.
So it says turn it off.
Okay.
So basically, it's an acting challenge, right? So black TikTok has been talking a lot about this. Reason being is white women weaponize their tears against black men all the time. And this is pretty much showing how easy it is for white women to weaponize their tears. And I just thought that was pretty. It's not something I would think about, but I can understand. Like, that's my fucking white privilege. Did I just kill our conversation?
Well, I have other things like open up, so I've been like sometimes I'll be like slightly distracted by like this sort of thing. I'm playing games. That's what I'm doing.
Which game are we playing?
That's just the idle game Stream Raiders. It's a Skinner box game.
Yeah, it is.
A what?
You can place down a unit every so many minutes.
Yep.
So yeah. I'm guessing that Jonathan just got the notification that said that it's time to place another unit.
Yep. I can honestly mute those things.
So you're placing your unit where?
On the battlefield.
Yep. You know, it gets lonely there. Sometimes you got to place your unit.
I gotta place down my war beast.
Yeah.
My epic war beast too.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I think it was the giraffe that kind of
a little bit
put things in.
You told us to be serious, right?
Yeah. I mean, we took it seriously. We understood.
I just can't stop watching that.
Oh my god. Marty, I'm judging you.
So
don't worry, humans are judgmental creatures anyway.
Especially me.
Well, can we talk about turfs?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
We can talk about. Oh, sorry, not Natalie Wynn. We can talk about Lindsay Ellis however much you like.
Well, I tend to think that there are a lot of trans tokens out there that we don't necessarily call trans tokens. I mean, there are the obvious ones here in the UK, but
I mean, there's like, I don't know. I am being exaggerative. There's people like Blair White who are pretty explicitly trans tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are people who are only marginally removed from Blair's opinions. We're like, for example, Natalie, who very clearly sees womanhood as something that must be granted to her by cis society and not something that is inherently what she has. And I honestly, I think that's disappointing. I hope that she gets to a point in her life where she sees her womanhood as inherently validated, and she doesn't feel as though the only reason she's allowed to have it is because she has performed femininity to cis-normative expectations. And you know, she does to her credit, she does an incredibly good job of conforming to those expectations, and those are very hard expectations to conform to, even for other cis people, even for cisgender women. So, you know, I don't want to invalidate. That's clearly something that's important to her, but it's also, it seems clear to me that the reason why it is that she focuses on that so much is because she feels as though she needs to validate her femininity. And yeah, like I said, it's not that far removed from Blair's stance. That's essentially the same, that you know, her femininity in her mind kind of isn't valid. It's entirely performative, the way that she talks about it. But you know, the only reason she's allowed to have it is because people recognize it. Natalie does go a step further, and she tries to validate the femininity of others, but she needs to validate her own before she's really able to do that. And I don't see that happening right now. But because of that, it does play into TERF narratives, and it's really disappointing. But yeah, I get the point behind the I'm kind of just what's the word? I'm expanding on what you said about how she's not a TERF, because she isn't. She really isn't. I was joking about that. But yeah. I'm waiting for someone else to step in. Any thoughts?
No, I definitely think that she kind of hits on some TERF kind of. I mean, ultimately, I think I can't remember what video it was, but it was when she had her little talk show, and she played all three characters, and one of them was like the drunk Natalie. I forget. I even forget the names that she had for them, but there was a one that was non-binary. And
Are we talking about the aesthetic?
I believe so. And
Well, that was the one. Yeah.
That's the video in which she discusses the idea of gender performativity.
Yeah.
The performative theory of gender from Judith Butler. But I would argue that she misunderstands aspects of that gender model. And is using it in part to promote her own perspective and her own insecurities about her gender and validate those insecurities.
Well, it kind of seemed like it was a backwards it was a sneaky way in, because she's, these are caricatures of people that I know, kind of. Do you know what I mean? It was like a backdoor kind of. These aren't my fears. These are fears of a lot of people, basically, not. But it almost, as a trans person, for me, it almost seemed like it was a deep dive into her insecurities about her own femininity, rather than any kind of commentary.
I don't see how it could not be, to be completely honest. I mean, it just given the fact that she does have insecurities about this stuff, and who doesn't? What especially trans person doesn't have insecurities about gender identity, especially when you're discussing it openly to a largely cisgender audience.
Oh yeah, that's like bonding over your every words, and won't like look up like anything else, and we asking Natalie, do a video on asexuality. I don't know a thing about that. To which even she would say, I need to watch this.
Her audience isn't just fans; she has anti-fans.
True.
She's not just, she's putting this video out there knowing that maybe even a third of the people watching this video are watching it to hate her. And there's no way you cannot be insecure about every little bit of how you're presenting and how you feel and how you sound and what you think, and whether or not you're coming across in a way that will minimize the hate you receive, that will maximize your feelings of validation. And it was a very, the characters are used very clearly to give herself the creative distance she needed to talk about these topics. But it can't not be about her own insecurity in that kind of situation. Like I couldn't make a video to an audience of that scale about trans issues without involving my own insecurities in that discussion, because you can't, you can't be that removed. Having your face, having your voice, having your thoughts and feelings about gender and your own gender and the validity of transgender, and not go into the discussion of whether you are valid and why you are valid and how you are valid in your gender and in your presentation of your gender and in your thoughts and your ideas on your gender. And I think it's unreasonable, honestly, to suggest that that's not what that video is about. And maybe she would claim that it's not, but I don't think that she even would, to be honest.
And their teacher, I think, has a good point too. In some ways, I feel for her in that, like, there are a lot of cis people who use her as the trans experience TM, and a question mark and that has to like play in those securities.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's because she does have to, in a lot of ways, the way that she's presented on YouTube, she does have to be the right trans. She has to be the good trans, the model trans.
And their teacher follows up, and their teacher follows up in much in the same way of philosophy too. Is that she felt compelled to be a proper trans woman and didn't know how because of profile.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, like, literally, if you say she has to be, but you're talking about somebody that's making $500,000 a year at this.
And that's how she makes that money.
Well, what I'm saying though,
that's her job is to be the model trans person.
Well,
in many ways.
You know what bothers the fuck out of me about that is that's something. By the way, here we go. Oh no,
Are you a Sabara now?
I'm covering my. I'm trying to make this so I can have myself in here. But yeah, there we go. I'm covering Jamie up though. I'm on top of Jamie.
That's fine. I'm unimportant, so it's okay.
Oh no, you didn't say that. That's not true at all. You are very important. There we go. You know,
no. Jamie did not say model trains, model trans.
She's
nothing wrong with having a hobby of them like model trains.
Yeah, I almost said there's nothing wrong with being model trans, but honestly, there kind of is. It's just not her fault per se. The fact that someone needs to be to a lot of people, and in a lot of people's perspective, they need a model trans person. That's maybe a problem, but I don't think it's a problem that she is willing to be that person. I think maybe she could do a better job of being that person, but that's arguable, and it's not really here or there. But
well, and I think my biggest problem with ContraPoints isn't her normative binary, because to be honest with you, I always I have it in the intro of my show. I joke that I'm a non-binary trans woman, or I'm a binary trans woman in the body of a non-binary trans woman. So I think if that's what if I could be more like Natalie, then I probably would. That being said, that video made me think more about it being an insecurity rather than her own true gender identity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It almost felt like I have to be this person, because if I'm not valid. As opposed to this is just the binary trans person that I am. And that's fine. There are so many things that we go through as trans people. Here's the thing. I hate saying this, but I transitioned in 2001, and I went through a lot of different changes, and a lot of those changes it's funny. I have this browser up. You guys probably don't remember this because it was a long time ago. But there was a woman named Susan Stanton. And let's see, Florida. So Susan Stanton, this is her. She was a Florida, what do they call it? Like a manager, city manager. And
A mayor or city councilor.
no, it was here, we'll look. City manager, yeah, of Largo, Florida, and then she was terminated when she transitioned. And she got a lot of press for this. And she started going on tours with the Human Rights Campaign and NCTE and just a whole bunch of different things. And then when she was at a let's see, she had a speech, I believe. I don't know if it talks about here. No. She basically came out and said she wasn't like those cross dressers.
Mm.
And I think, yeah, basically she was pretty much taken down by the LGBT community, basically. And because of the stuff that she said was so fucking toxic. Basically, I'm not like those people. But the thing is, the stuff that she said is stuff that I probably would have said when I was early in my transition.
Mm.
You know, but I didn't say it to a fucking audience. That's the difference. And
Yeah, absolutely.
And there are certain people like Caitlyn Jenner who has such money privilege that they'll never get outside that whole bubble of like they'll never be forced. Susan Stanton was forced to reckon with her own internal transphobia. But there are certain people with certain privileges, money privileges, a lot of the time, like Caitlyn Jenner doesn't have to deal with those things because there's no cost. She lives outside of the community. Even though she's a part of the community, she lives outside of, I mean, her claim to fame is her family, basically. I mean, there's the Olympics and stuff like that, but right now, you know, the Kardashians are basically what makes her a thing. And the money from that is something that she doesn't have to worry about where her next meal is going to come from. So she doesn't, her privilege keeps her insulated from the cancel culture. But reckoning those with those lessons that some of us learn along the way. That's what I'm getting at. I think I've had to learn them. Their teacher said that's something I wish more people understood about the marginalized communities. Like you can be like it, but not actually be a part of it because you don't engage in it. Or you can be so privileged that you're a part of that community, but you're not accountable to that community. And I think that can be, well, you see it right now. Caitlyn Jenner can come out about trans women in sports and have a really
Yeah, she did do that.
have a really shit take about because like people will sit there and say, well, Martina Navratilova came out against this, blah 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 blah. Martina Navratilova is not a fucking doctor. She's an athlete, so she knows tennis. And if you were going to ask her questions about tennis, then yeah, she would know about that. But she doesn't know about fucking anatomy and physiology as far as from a professional level. She shouldn't be looked at as an expert on sports science. She's an athlete, but she's not an expert on sports science. So, I mean, when you literally have people that are these experts that have been informed and informing the International Olympic Committee since what, 2012, I believe, excuse me, since 2012. I mean, you have, to me, you depend on the people that are experts in the field when it comes to and I think that could be on a sport by sport basis. But I think I heard something on a atheist podcast, Tracy Harris and Jen Peoples, I believe. And they were talking about sport and about athletes like who's the guy that's won all the Michael Phelps won a bunch of Olympic gold medals. They found out that he has he's double jointed in a way that makes his body more efficient. He also has feet that are webbed in a way that help him. These are genetic differences that he has that give him an unfair advantage. Should he have all his medals taken away? Should he be banned from the sport? I mean, where this quote unfair advantage, how far do you take this in sport? How far do you
that kind of also reminds me of how we lost Jamie again, how the Olympics banned a runner who had prosthetic legs. He got those legs to improve his running capabilities, because ankles are not good springs, as it were. But yet, so that one athlete was denied because he chose to enhance his body, as it were. So that is kind of but yet Michael Phelps, he was naturally born with it. And so that is a question of where do we draw the line of this person is too tall, they can't play basketball, or this person is too short, they have a smaller a batting cage, so they're unfair, that have an unfair advantage. Or even in the sport of competitive eating, well, there's actually a competitive eater that can actually put more food in his body, and he does regularly eat those competitive eating competitions. Does that person have an unfair advantage over the other competitors? Yeah, it's a good question. Where's the line?
Well, where is that line? Where is that when it's something that nature or even science, gives you, where is that line? And in terms of trans lives, the scientists have spoken pretty clearly that on what they feel like that is. And to me, people turning around and saying, well, that's what, you've got your fucking opinions. These are just your opinions. Everyone has opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them, blah, blah, blah. But that's all it is. You aren't rational. You aren't fucking rational. you aren't. You aren't. That isn't a. That you might be an argumentative bro, but your argument is just that. It's not. It's not have. It doesn't have any logical basis in fucking science. It's just a fucking bigoted opinion. But anyways, I do have a few turf videos, and I saw this one today, and it kind of made me it made me think. Let's see. Let me get the sound back up.
Before we move on, do you mind if I say something real quick about
Sure.
that last topic?
Sure.
So one of the things that was really difficult for me in accepting my identity was actually the hyper focus on binary transness and obsessing over wanting to pass as a cisgender member of, you know, the gender that you don't currently pass as. One of the things that really frustrates me about this whole movement, that this whole movement might be the wrong word, but this whole hyper focus on cis normative acceptance is I've never been somebody who wanted to seem I've never been somebody who wanted to seem like a binary person of a different gender than I was seen as. And so for years, I was going around saying, and I was reinforcing the same kinds of ideas, but I was reinforcing them from the perspective of coming in saying, well, I'm not really trans because I'm both genders. And to me, for the longest time, I didn't know what bigender was. I didn't know that that meant, you know, that I was trans and that my transness was valid and that my gender identity could just be both. I just was confused and didn't know where I fit into the community. And because of a desire to focus on binary trans men and binary trans women, especially binary trans men and binary trans women who effectively pass as binary cisgender people or very close to effectively pass. I went around denying my own transness, denying my own gender identity, just because, as far as I could tell, I wasn't allowed to have it. I wasn't allowed to be trans in my own mind for a very long time because trans people fully reject their birth assigned gender and they adopt a cisnormative binary expectation of the other gender that they were not assigned. So I saw myself as fake trans for a long time because of that. And that's part of the reason why it frustrates me so much when people like Natalie reinforce that. Like whether or not, you know, not saying, I'm trying not to be judgmental towards her in this, because I do think that it is an insecurity. It's an insecurity I had. You know, I think it was an insecurity she communicated. But communicating it on that scale with that degree of expertise and claiming it as fact, it does perpetuate this narrative, and it does, I think it will continue to lead to people who are
Robot Jamie.
like, I'm
You're
not
back
trans.
Jamie's
Is it just
starting
me?
to
They exterminate.
you think that's working tonight? Oh my god. We lost Jamie. I mean, she's still here. She's still here, but literally, her
Either her connection or her computer is like slowing down, yeah, or both.
but I just want to um kind of take off from where she was at. I, for myself, I
I think
struggle.
Jamie's pronouns are they.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jamie. Um, I'm fucking horrible with that. Seriously.
Okay.
Like literally, my biggest problem was with Peter Coffin. Jamie, this is what you were doing.
Exterminate. You know, those like Jamie's fears of like and denying herself of being trans. Honestly, I was that like as well. Right now, I still feel weird if I say I am transgender. I have no problem saying I have trans identity because non-binary is trans identity. But saying I'm transgender, it's like I have to say, well, I'm sort of a man, sort of, just not cis. But and that's the sign on my birth certificates. It was listed as, but like it's just I don't know when I feel like I'm a man or I feel like I'm a man or not, and so that's a different thing. But for a while, I didn't, I wasn't willing to publicly say yes, I am trans, until comedian like Jamie actually said, "Hey, Jonathan is trans actually," and then I have to go, "You're right, I am trans," and then ever since then, I never had a problem with that.
Well,
so thank you, Jamie, for that.
Well, there's something that I wrestle with in terms of that is when because Jonathan, I'm sorry, but you and I pay a different kind of price publicly for our gender presentation.
Yeah.
And I do have issues at times with people that have more cis privilege that they can kind of hide in if they want.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I have to travel very lightly in this because I struggle with my own kind of, well, I have my own internal transphobia. And because I know that I'm never going to be where I want to be in with my gender identity. I've accepted that. But I am where I am, and that is something that I'm okay with. Transition basically helped me not kill myself. But I can't say that I'll ever be happy. I'm content, but that being said, I pay a very high price for my transition because of, I mean, when it comes from work, when it comes from being visibly trans is something that impacts my life every single day. And there are times when people are arguing about trans rights and like they have cis privilege and they don't take that into consideration when they're when in the middle of discourse. And I it just I don't know. I really struggle with that from the standpoint of I don't want I don't want to gatekeep, but at the same time, the things that impact my life around my gender identity, I pay a pretty steep price, and there are people that identify as non-binary that don't pay as steep of a price. I know that's a continuum, but
Mhm.
but I think uh, a lot of the people that I've experienced within the trans community that are trans tokens, they a lot of times it ends up coming from that kind of sense of this I'm paying a heavy price for my transition, and other people aren't, but yet they're trying to assert things over me. And
Yeah.
I tend to think that sometimes pushes people into that, where they're getting validation from. And then back in the day, they used to call themselves Harry Benjamin syndrome people. But it's that now you'd call them a trans medicalist, but
Mhm.
but that happened quite a bit. I did want to Nerd Teacher in the chat said one of the other things too is that Contra doing it on that scale, with that focus, with that degree of knowledge or lack thereof, and the combination of it with highlighting highlight genuine critiques of her. And if you combine your insecurities with responses to get genuine critiques, fans the flames. The thing is with I feel like if you have a big platform, then you have a big responsibility.
Yeah, I do agree.
I don't feel like I have that big of a responsibility because of the platform that I have. It's not very big. Even though I try to be respectful and try to be knowledgeable and understand different points of view, ContraPoints reaches so many people and has such a huge platform. What she says and does matters and has impact on people's lives. And just as nerd teacher was saying in her post on Twitter, this is something that literally has material impact on people's lives, and you need to respect that and honor that and keep that in mind. This isn't just fucking about how your gender identity is and how it manifests. It's about other people's lives.
Their posts on Twitter, and their teacher goes by they them as well.
Are you sure?
I have it up here.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, nerd teacher. I thought we had a discussion about that and you told me different. But okay. But their post, I get that wrong more often than I get it right. I'm so fucking sorry. I suck. But you know what? I feel bad about it, but at the same time, I don't. You know why? Because exactly, I won't kill you unless you do it with intent. That was nerd teacher in the chat. That's the thing. What I tell people all the time, and they're like, well, what do I do if I don't know somebody's gender identity? I'm just like, you ask. And if you make a mistake, you apologize and you move fucking on. Don't focus on it. Don't apologize profusely. I mean, that's almost worse. When people, oh, I'm so sorry. I feel so horrible. Oh my God. Will you ever forgive me? And you just like sit there and go, it wasn't that big of a deal. Let's move on, please. Let's go. Let's go somewhere else. I'm just like, yeah, that's almost as bad as actually the offense itself. Jamie, that's fine. That's fine. Your technical difficulties, we can appreciate them. That's not the audio that I was going for. Dun, 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 dun. I was going for this. I think this one.
Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn.
No, that wasn't it.
People were going for Benny Hill.
This is my technical difficulties.
Such professionals here. I mean, what kind of stream is it if there isn't some technical difficulties?
No, I'll get a copyright strike on that one, I think.
That's true. So that's why it's not technical difficulties. But it's like, I don't want to get a strike on the channel.
That is correct.
Correct. Plankton. Yeah. No. I was going for this one.
Exterminate.
But god damn it. I fucked up again.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
There we go. Welcome back, Jamie.
Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. Quite all right.
My computer decided to
Cancel you.
Start compiling code for a new update and use up 100% of my CPU.
Damn.
Yep. So it's fine.
This is the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Is that?
Yes, this show. I mean,
That's true. That's fair.
I could do this all day.
It's a trap.
So Jamie, I was gonna play this video.
Yes, the turf video you have lined up for us that you've been waiting for like 45 minutes to play.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
This was a debate because I don't debate the rights of trans people because that's bullshit. Let's go through some stuff that I'm very depressed that I actually have to point out because I really did think that this was obvious. A slur. TERF is not a slur. A slur, much like for me the word faggot, is something that's directed at you because of a characteristic that you can't change and you can't control. Are you saying that being transphobic is that? Because I don't think it is. I'd also just like to make you aware that trans exclusionary radical feminists created the term.
So
I don't like the fact it's being used against them to highlight the fact that they are transphobic. If you don't want to be called a TERF, don't create the term TERF. Most of the debates against trans people are bullshit anyway. You want to talk about access to single-sex spaces? Okay, let's talk about the bathroom debate and why it's fallacy. The argument for the bathroom debate is we don't want men sharing our spaces where we're going to be like vulnerable. Trans women aren't men. It's because you're afraid that you're going to be looked at or because you're going to see someone's genitals. Trans people are probably more private about their genitals than anybody else. If you're worried about being looked at, what's that got to do with being trans? There are straight, bi and gay trans people. If you want to go down that path, are we saying that we should stop gay men from using men's bathrooms because we might look at dicks? To mention, trans women have been using women's bathrooms for, I literally don't even know how long, but it's years and years. Ultimately, that argument comes down to we don't want creepy men in our spaces. That's understandable, but that's also a problem with cis men, not with trans women. And then you talk about being labeled transphobic for not agreeing. That's more reactionary bullshit. A lot of trans people are more than willing at length to debate this. It's their lives. But calling it a debate is also disingenuous. Turning around to someone and saying, justify why you get to do these things is a little bit scary in this day and age. Whether you agree that trans women are wholly women or not, that's really, however you feel is how you feel, and I'm clearly not going to change your mind. But I don't really think that we get to decide how people identify. Also, if you look at the recent polls, most people, including women, agree that trans people can use women's bathrooms because no one actually gives a shit. And then you go on to talk about politicians with ironclad credentials. Like who? Baroness Nicholson, who recently compared gay people to paedophiles and said we shouldn't be able to marry or adopt. What other politicians are trans exclusionary? Oh yeah, Donald Trump, Nigel Farage, Lawrence Fox, Boris Johnson. Interesting choices, but okay. Long and the short of it is, I'm absolutely unwilling to debate my friends' lives. This is not a debate. They live that life. I see them live that life. I see the bullshit that they go through. So my only thing that I have to say to you is you already said that you don't know many trans people. I suggest you change that. Create a sock puppet profile, follow some amazing people on Twitter, read the bullshit that they get sent to them every fucking day and how difficult their lives are because of the lack of healthcare in this country and the way that they get treated by people like they're a fucking criminal. And then ask yourself whether you still think you're on the right side of this debate.
I mean, it wasn't about water fountains back then. It isn't about bathrooms now.
No.
Also, making the bathroom bills, creating that misdemeanor, if someone was planning to commit a felony, something being a misdemeanor is not going to stop them.
Also, always, it's weird. I don't know. I present generally androgynously, and I have since I was really young, like before I came out. And my whole life, like this whole debate is so fucking obnoxious to me because my whole life I've been told I'm in the wrong bathroom no matter which bathroom I go into.
Yeah.
Because fucking not everybody has cis passing privilege, even presenting as a cisgender person. It's absurd that people assume that, you know, like not every person needs to go out of their way to appear trans. So there are cisgender women and cisgender men out there who struggle to pass as their actual like birth assigned gender, even though they want to. Being able to look at a woman and be like, oh, you've got a little too much facial hair there or some shit, and assuming that that means that you know whether or not they belong in that bathroom. It's just dangerous on so many levels and makes no sense on any of them. So I hate that debate.
And plus, this is actually true. 14 years old, my family went to a Mariners game at the Kingdom. I did not realize I walked into the wrong bathroom, wondering where the urinals were. Just use a bathroom stall, stand up and did my business, wash my hands. Someone else saw me wash my hands, and I walked out. And then I realized, wait, that was a women's bathroom. Oh, and then just walked back to my seats, and that's it. Nothing happened because of that, but I accidentally did that.
Well, I come at this kind of like from a matter of debate. First off, there was a post that I regularly quote from. He goes by Julius Goat on Twitter. AR Maxon. But he wrote a post about debate, and one of the things that he pointed out, and it just floored me. Okay, people talk about the Jewish question. The Jewish question was solved fucking a million fucking times, a million debates ago, but people still want to talk about it over and over and over again. There's never any answer to that debate. There's never, okay, we've decided this. This is this debate is over. It never fucking ends. And it's not a question anymore. We
no.
We know the Holocaust happened. It's not a question. And
well, I mean, you know, the Jewish question is essentially what shall be done with the Jewish people, and the answers seem simple to me, which is the same as every other people, but you know,
they ought to colonize another people's land.
I'm an anarchist SJW, but so, you know, my stance on everything is all the people should be treated like human beings for some reason. But
how dare you?
Yeah, right. How dare I? How dare I not concern myself with nationalism and think, it's amazing how not obsessing over nationalism makes statelessness just suddenly a non-issue. What if the solution to stateless people is to get rid of states and now there's no problem? Whoa. Solution found.
That's a really great idea. We should kill you, Jamie.
Yeah, that sounds like what I'm used to. Yeah. That's a great idea. Let's murder you now.
That's the history of peaceful people. Peaceful.
Yeah, that's human rights in the U.S.
This is from Julius.
It's called the First Amendment.
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
a good idea. Let's murder you.
Yeah. It's my right. I should be able to do what I want. So this is a bit long, but he says, remember, we have been captured by a spirit that convinces us of terrible foundational lies. Our society believes that profit is the highest moral value. It believes that people must earn life. It believes we don't belong to each other. These assumptions inform all other aspects of our daily life, including markets and the quote marketplace of ideas. It's going to be necessary, therefore, if we are serious about justice, to discern a person's intentions before determining whether or not it is appropriate to engage with them in this marketplace of ideas, even before determining if the marketplace itself is appropriate. Some people's ideas are genocide and slavery. They don't want to win a debate. They just want to be listed on the exchange. They don't have ideas as such. They have intentions. Their idea is a seat at the table. They have an instrumental view of debate, not a philosophical one. You can tell this because they will effortlessly change from one statement to a contradictory one if it is useful in the moment, and take a contradictory position in order to further that intention. Lies are no longer lies. Facts are no longer facts. Lies and facts are just tools towards a desired intention. You might even start hearing about alternative facts. You might even start hearing that there are no facts anymore. Well, great. So if they're all liars, then we should be able to beat them easily, right? Why are we afraid to engage with their ideas if our ideas are better? That seems like a perfectly reasonable question. The problem is it's entirely the wrong question. It's a category error because while you are debating, your opponent is merely using debate. The fact that you are engaging means he's already succeeded. Once you are willing to debate whether one group of people or another should be abused, then abusing and expelling people from society is something that is up for debate. It's on the table. It's listed on the exchange. If we are debating whether there ought to be laws preventing trans people from bathrooms, then we're already debating the wrong thing, and as a result, we have lost. If we are debating whether there should be a Muslim ban, or whether or not health care should be kept from the poor, or whether gay people should be banned from marriage, or black people killed by cops, or if women should be paid the same or not, or if Native Americans and descendants of slavery deserve reparation for systematic and ongoing theft, or if hungry people should have food, or if thirsty people should have water, or disabled people should have access to buildings, we have already lost. Those things do not go on the table, because once they are on the table, they have entered the realms of things we consider. They have entered the realm of the possible. Debate them? Okay, why not? They're lying. They're wrong. You'll win easily. Now debate again and again and again and again and again and again. The idea of the lie is entering the public consciousness. Again, the idea of lying is entering the public consciousness. The idea is taking hold that debate is a thing where people argue by lying. They're lying, you're lying, but all the lies anyway, right? But it's all lies anyways, both sides. Again, the lies are getting thicker, but they're hidden by ubiquity. Again, the lies are getting better, more convincing. Again, they're being focus tested in the marketplace of ideas. There are bumper stickers and signs. Debate again. You win every time, but why are you afraid to engage an idea? You're in the marketplace. The best ideas always rise to the top, right? There are protests in favor of direct and shocking action premised upon the lie. Again, there are hats, red hats, a sea of them. Again. Here are refugees stranded. Again. Here are raids tearing families apart. Again. Here's a mosque defaced. Again. Unthinkable, except it isn't. We've been thinking about the unthinkable very like very open-minded and reasonable people for years. Lies have been given the same weight and consideration as the truth. They have been for years. The marketplace is unbiased. It doesn't judge. It doesn't distinguish. And really, both sides just tell their perspective. Both sides spin. Both sides debate. Both sides. Those who want to exterminate masses of people and those who don't. Both argue and bicker. They're just the same, right? We'll report, you decide. The implicit idea, whatever decision you make is a good one. After all, in a marketplace, the customer is always right. If enough of you exist who want to believe something is untrue and unjust, then a supply will arise to fill the demand. The marketplace of ideas, unregulated, does not elevate the best ideas to the top. In fact, it has the opposite effect. And all that suffering occurs not only because there are those who intend that suffering, but because others, not wanting to seem irrational or closed-minded, allow the debate to take place in the first case, or the first place, and thereby elevate it into the realm of the possible. This is exactly why I've always said that I think platforming should be a fucking thing. You don't platform bad fucking ideas. Because just by putting them on the stage, they win. I mean, we've seen this over and over and over again. I mean,
unfortunately, sorry to cut you off there, but unfortunately, I have a prior engagement that I need to do. So I will see you all soon. I'm glad to have been on the show, and
Thank you for
have
coming
to-
on, Jamie. Thank you for coming
Bye,
on.
Jamie.
See ya.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Gamey Gay, for coming on the show.
She did not say, hi, I'm gay. It's just like, she does it all the time in the chat, but she forgot to do it in voice. Oh well, she can do it next time. They can do it next time. I forgot.
Basically, what this is a long form thing, but he says the debate must be in good faith. Sometimes it is inappropriate to have a debate that's with someone whose intentions are not in good faith. Sometimes it becomes necessary to say what you believe is that some people have less worth than other people, and I think that is an indecent position to take. As a result, there are no details you can present within the framework that interests me in the slightest, and I don't see any point in debating those details. I think that is spot on. There are two sides to every issue. Yes, wrong, right and wrong, true and false. But when there are certain things, like I said, like the Jewish question, that fucking, to me, that's not something that you debate ever. Because again, they've won when they get that idea into the public consciousness. At the end of the day. So anyways, I haven't been looking at the chat. I'm horrible. Debate me, bro.
Oh, the baby bros is just like, as and some people just like the act of debating itself more than anything else, and not the actual seeking the actual truth. That's where and the example you always bring up too is like between the creationist Ken Ham and Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah.
Who won the debate? It all depends on who you ask.
That wasn't me, actually. That was Dan Arrow. Dan Arrow made the point. He's like, debate is useless.
Mm-hmm.
Debate is useless. I want to see if I can find it. I always have to go looking for this tweet on and because I got into a fight with oh god, the guy that did Creationist Cat.
Vadim Nunquist.
I got into an argument with him about this. So that's, I always go fucking looking for it and can oh, I found one that literally somebody said, why would you need to do that if you can win a debate based on the merits of your ideas? Oh god, fuck off. Oh fuck. Maybe I did mention Dan. No. Yes, I found it. I said the only problem is theirs isn't a bubble, it's a bomb shelter. You can't debate hate, and at times you actually promote it by debating them. Dan Arrow was point on when he said, quote, debates are actually useless. Being a good debater doesn't mean you're right, and it rarely, if ever, changes people's minds. Ask 10 creationists and 10 atheists who won the Ham versus Nye debate.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so fucking spot on. Dan Earl said, debating is nothing more than a learned skill. It is not about good ideas trumping bad ideas. It's one person articulating their position better than the other person. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that isn't helpful, or that doesn't move things along for, I mean, if you have somebody that's making a bad argument about the Jewish question, and you have someone that's making, I don't know what that argument would be that would make it good, but I mean that doesn't make it any more true.
Mm-hmm.
Nerd teacher says, they said, I always find the bathroom debate from TERFs as being interesting from a historical perspective, considering there was a point where women didn't have public toilets, and the point of not having bathrooms before is the same as it is for trans people. Now, the thing is too, the point is exclusion and keeping people out of spaces. The point is too, what pisses me off more than anything, they don't give a fuck about our safety.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sexually assaulted. Early on in my transition, I was afraid to go into the women's restroom, and I went into a men's restroom, and I was sexually assaulted. And from that point on, I've decided I'm never going to go into another men's restroom. Just from the standpoint of, I'm not going to fucking be harmed. Fuck that shit. And the point, nerd teacher, I agree. The point is exclusion and keeping people out, but it's worse than that. The point is they don't give a fuck about your safety. This is about their comfort more than it is about your safety. And that pisses me off more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not something that it's our safety is worth so little. I'm going to play a couple more videos about TERFs, by the way.
An argument that's used by TERFs a lot that I really don't understand is the idea that by trans women existing, you're changing the definition of what a woman is, and that by trans women being women, it stops cis women from being women. And it creates the impression that there's like a finite number of women that can exist in the world. It's like me walking up to another girl with a blue streak in her hair and go, well, now you have a blue streak, I can't have one, thanks for that. Trans women can be women and cis women can still be women. You're just creating problems.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And like literally there are different types of women that have different fucking problems and different social different experiences in life.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't say they're not women because they don't have certain issues. But this is one of my favorite.
I was watching a wonderful video by Gracie Chaos in which she mentions how transphobes and TERFs will often say that trans women are cheapening womanhood, that they're putting on woman face. I want to examine why this is. Why are TERFs so insulted by trans women? When thinking about this, I remembered a post I saw on Tumblr a while back that was made by a TERF. You can pause to read. This is one of those instances where TERF about this, I remembered a
this is what the TERF said. This is a little hard to explain, but I actually find a great deal of comfort in the rigidity of sex. I do not need to do anything to be a woman. It is an inherent quality. I was born female and I will die female. Every cell in my body is female, and remains of my deceased body will be female until the end of time. Nothing can change that. No surgery, medication, clothing, makeup, money, laws, actions, or words can make me more or less female. I don't need to be perceived as a woman, and I'm not obligated to provide my womanhood to anyone. I don't need to feel like a woman or identify as one. I am a woman, full stop. That's what this person said.
Post I saw on Tumblr a while back that was made by a TERF. You can pause to read. This is one of those instances where TERFs will unknowingly tell you exactly what they think. They often claim that they are dedicated to critically thinking about gender and womanhood, but this post illuminates what I think are part of their true motivations. As the post says, TERFs have a very personal connection to a stringent definition of womanhood, that the defining characteristics of it are one's biology, nothing more. They find comfort in it, perhaps because they have experienced instances in which their womanhood has been denied. So they end up falling back on a very reductive definition of it as a defense. With this in mind, I think we can then see why TERFs have such a distasteful view of trans women. Trans women show that one doesn't need to have certain biological characteristics to experience womanhood, often in similar ways that cis women do. This threatens that definition of womanhood that TERFs so strongly hold on to. Instead of viewing this contradiction dialectically and coming to the conclusion that womanhood is more than just chromosomes and genitals, they instead react very defensively. They say that trans women are not women, that their experiences are misinterpreted, that their womanhood is not valid. This is what makes TERFs reactionaries. They're not actually interested in critically examining womanhood and gender. They're instead very personally invested in upholding the dominant ideology of gender and sex, that woman is a natural category, that womanhood is a prediscursive experience.
I just thought that was spot on, and yeah. It does explain where a lot of TERFs are. That being said, again, I go back to the same thing every fucking time. That's more important to them than my fucking safety at the end of the day. I don't want you in my bathroom. That's ultimately what they'll say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even though it's just like, everyone's personal bathroom, or anytime you have a single stall bathroom, that is a transgender bathroom too, or old gender bathroom too. Trans people have been in those bathrooms before. So it's just like, it's kind of like what it's like when someone's in that bathroom stall, do you know their genitals? No? Then why is it your business to know what their genitals are?
Well, and also, I mean, um, like that is the last fucking thing that I think of when I'm in the loo. I don't think of
Mhm.
I don't think about other people's fucking genitals.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't think about other people's genitals at all. You know, unless they're my partner, I don't fucking
Mhm.
I don't fucking think of their genitals at all. Period. End of story. Uh, that's not that's not something I care about. I care about being safe to do my business.
Mhm.
Um, trying to something that there's a ring of ash keys or strange fire on Twitter wrote says patriarchy demands a manhood free of any taint of womanhood, a maleness pure of femaleness, any proximity to the other sex that's not authorized contact through heterosex and its institutions, including the experiences, bodies, etc., it thinks are, quote, for women. I find it excruciatingly grim that LGBTQ plus people replicate this, and too often uh, on the fact of it both self-evident and supportive statements trans men are men is utilized for that trans men, so they are necessarily identical to cis men, and obviously all this applies to trans women where they feel it does too. We should absolutely not be insisting that trans women's womanhood only exists if it perfectly replicates our ideas of cis womanhood and cis women's lives. The places where trans people's lives and experiences are trans lives and experiences is used too often to ungender and misgender and harm, we need to unpack that shit along with the ideas that we cannot be the same as cis people of our gender. It's not only used to externally oppress, it causes a deep shame and physiological harm to trans people who experience ourselves as having differences in any context from cis people of our gender, because it is so often comes from a place of deep transphobia, a hatred and fear of transness, of lives and identities and experiences and bodies and selves that cross the boundaries power has set up around gender. The horror, disgust, and anger at trans people who don't aspire to be cis identical in some given way is telling. And I fucking like, I love that in the fact that
Mhm.
when you have people that um uh this is something that internalized transphobia it's reinforced.
Mhm.
It's reinforced by society in microaggressions over and over and over again. I've had 20 years of microaggressions, and that my transition isn't um, successful enough, and that I'm
Mhm.
somehow not worthy of love, of connection, of all these things. And on a certain level, you know, I think that's not true, but over time that has an impact and I can't deny that,
Mhm.
you know? Um
Yeah.
Adam says, I actually got into a fight because some dude was trying to police who could go in one of those single bathrooms. It had the woman in a dress picture on the door, but it was literally a single bathroom. Only one person could go in at a time anyways. But the dude was mad hell that a trans woman used it and got really invasive. He literally put his foot in the door to make it impossible to close. There's no genuine concern about anyone's safety. This is bigotry, pure and raw and not nuanced or complex. And I would almost say that when somebody does something like that, it's literally their own insecurity somewhere.
Mhm.
You know, I tend to think that thing, it doesn't come from just, I mean, you don't get that fucking angry about trans women if there's not some either attraction or and some anger at that attraction, or there's some internal shit going on.
Mhm.
But that's just my opinion. Um, I don't want to necessarily do a positivity thing here, but I want to see about I want to turn this back on because there was a video
Mhm.
that I'm gonna play. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Let's put this back over here.
Mhm.
I wanted to get your thoughts on this because this helped me a lot when I realized this, and it's
What is something you found out late in life that you should have known earlier but you just didn't?
That there is not a single person's opinion that matters more than yours. Everyone is fucked up. We all have our issues.
this is something that fucking this first part. Everyone is fucked up. There's we see it with our heroes all the time, but literally there's no one that's not fucked up.
All have our unhealed stuff from our childhood. We all are so fucked up. So you cannot be gauging your self-worth based on another fucked up person's opinion about you. Your opinion about yourself is the only thing that matters. Okay.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that, Jonathan?
No, I do agree. It was like this commencement speech that someone did in 1998. Wear sunscreen, and he kind of said hey, that's the only advice I can give based off a scientific record that is proven to be factually correct and is worth giving. Wear sunscreen. The rest of the advice I would give is only from my meandering experience. But in that convention speech, which was set to music later on, he did mention that don't worry about your success compared to others. Sometimes you be ahead, sometimes you be behind. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself.
Yep. It's only against yourself, and the people that argue with you in your life, they're arguing. By the way, I wasn't kidding you before. This is what. Oh shit. God damn it. I don't know why Firefox can be such a douche sometimes. Because I tried moving this over. I'm just going to move the whole thing over.
Mm-hmm.
That literally is the truth. I didn't show you that earlier.
You mentioned it to us. Not enough work in the work-life balance. I was like, you okay? Maybe you're speaking out of yourself. Okay, you probably need to get that motivation poster above your desk or something like that to make you more productive. Okay, but I don't think that applies to everyone else.
This post from Joss Pryor. If you don't follow Joss, she's British, but her takes are so fucking hot and funny. She says the idea that trans men are more likely to be with women is absolute fake trope invented by transphobes to present trans men as confused cis lesbians. Yet I haven't seen a shred of data that backs this up. I did a small poll suggests the opposite. Does anyone have data? And this is the turfy thing that they put up. Notice how most trans men are straight and most trans women are lesbian. Clearly, homosexual females have internalized lesbophobia, and heterosexual males are proud of fetishizing lesbians. But I doubt that is a surprise to anyone. And this poll she did, kind of trans men, you can see that. But
yep,
this is I put this up. Oh, shock, horror. Most people, cis people, are heterosexual. This has meaning, and I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, what is the meaning? And the literally the only meaning, like, I think a lot of trans people, their dating preference, to me, isn't something that actually is indicative of fucking anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only thing that's indicative of it is who certain people want to fucking date.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Their teacher says for Italy, they're doing something about the too much life and the work-life balance, including a 16-year-old who fell 5 meters and is in the hospital from a school plus work program. A union leader who was killed at a strike against Little, and a woman who died to machinery made to continue work despite broken safety mechanisms. Yeah, shocking. To be honest with you, I'm wondering when they're going to bring back child labor.
Yep. All these pesky regulations. Maybe when I bring libertarians take control again.
Yeah.
Oh, the past couple of weeks, we're at end stage capitalism after all. End stage neoliberal capitalism.
Is that a fidget spinner?
It is. I got it as a birthday present, actually.
See, I can't multitask. I would be fucking on that thing and just, I'd say, what did you say?
It's Batman too. You can't really see it at this angle, but it's like a black and white, black and yellow with the Batman symbol on it. So yeah.
So
my coworker didn't know what to get me, so they got me this fidget spinner, and so I was like, I forgot I had this until I was clearing out my desk to put in my new computer.
Did you tell them that that Batman was a capitalist fucking asshole?
I can still tell them they're my coworker.
Why don't you get me a Donald Trump or a fucking Elon Musk fidget spinner?
I don't want to make America great again, fidget spinner. No. and there's if Elon Musk does make a fidget spinner, it's going to be like $130 and be like nothing but emeralds too, or or more expensive if it's nothing but emeralds.
No, it'll be blood diamonds because that's his daddy's history, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Or it's going to be just very ugly, like the Tesla truck or something like that he designed or claimed to design.
You know what's interesting about that is he didn't Tesla isn't his baby. He bought Tesla. He didn't invent anything. I mean, he's the person that he's most like is literally Edison. And if you don't know
Yes.
anything about Edison, Edison was a cock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't really invent anything. He was about taking other people's ideas and capitalizing on them.
Yep.
Adam says, my fidget spinner has 6 strings on it. Best stem ever. That's called a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
A guitar as a fidget spinner. That's awesome.
Really? I thought it was a 6-string weapon.
Oh, we have access to a hit squad too, Ukrainians and Russians.
Oh, God damn it. That's the one thing about having TikTok in a tab. It'll autoplay. To be honest with you, I'm waiting for TikTok to make where you can watch it on your TV. I can already do this with my Apple TV, and it's kind of you can autoplay them. I think you can autoplay them in you can in the browser. So if you screen share and then do that, I can sit there for fucking hours just watching fucking TikTok. TikTok is like it's like Twitter, but with videos. Because literally you can eternal scroll. Anyways, we're coming up on 2.5 hours. I don't want to make your prediction about me come true. I don't want this to be an 8-hour stream. But Jonathan and Jamie and Leto and David, thank you for supporting the show. And by the way, Jonathan, will you tell people where they can find you on the interwebs?
You can find me by Google. You can find me by Google searching Summer and Geek and threes instead of E's and Geeks. Where I do have a YouTube channel, I do have a Twitch channel, I do have a Twitter. You can find me there most easily, and as well as on Twitch. And I think that's it. Yeah, on Tumblr. Yeah, I have a Medium account. I don't really do those sort of things, though. I am on Patreon, and I do have like a Cash App and all those sort of things. And so that's where you can find me. You can also find me tomorrow on a weekly live stream and like a podcast that I do called Social Justice Alchemy. Just like me, Letter Arno, John Brockman, Tom McDonald, a bunch of other like anarchists and leftists, Mehmet, Jamie, Phoenix, that we just show up to a Zoom call, sit around and like talk about whatever is on our minds, whatever comes to our mind. Could be news, could be politics, could be like cats, as it were.
It could be Jonathan trying to talk about politics and getting derailed by John Brockman.
Yes, it could be me trying to like manage herd a bunch of cats into like staying on topic. Yes.
Apparently herding a bunch of cats and herding a bunch of anarchists is pretty much equivalent.
It's Social Justice Alchemy every 2 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, and every 7 p.m. UTC on Sunday, where it's just a bunch of anarchists yapping about like whatever. And there's the YouTube link for Social Justice Alchemy. I am also a curator, or someone who barely curates, but we'll get on it to curate it more, as well as with Jamie. A charity links Google Doc called charity links page. So if you have any extra money around, feel like doing some like mutual aid, there's a bunch of charity links to very different like trans people, queer people, people of colors, like GoFundMe's, Cash Apps, PayPal pools, and others kinds of like links to find people in need that could really use like a helping hand. I should probably I have more links I need to add to that thing later on, and that's it. And you can, and anyone can share that around too. It's not like just a Steve Shives thing. No, anyone can share that around. Anyone can share that around. Share around and pass around the charity links page.
Cool beans. By the way, have you thought of maybe having a link tree?
Probably I have thought about doing a link tree, yeah.
Because you have a lot of different places around the interwebs.
Mm-hmm.
even things.
There were some places I focus on more than others, but yeah. I probably should look into it in Linktree, yeah.
All right. Well, to that person, because apparently another person came on right here at the end. If you want to check out the stream, usually we stream on Saturdays and Wednesdays, sometimes Mondays. That's usually a gaming stream, and my computer has been working, and I've been I am probably the fucking worst at Call of Duty. By the way,
Call of Duty, that apolitical military war shooter game.
Oh my god, why do I do this to myself? I have no fucking clue, Jonathan. I have no clue why I fucking do this to myself. Because literally, like, there is nothing. I mean, the whole fucking story. I just played through the Modern Warfare, and the whole fucking story is like this hero. It's hero fucking worship of and the whole thing of just every fucking trope about the Middle East and fucking CIA and it's just it's fucking propaganda. But you know what, the parts that I the parts that I like, I'm the worst at. Like, I've maybe I play the mobile game as well. I love first person shooters. I think in the last week I've probably gotten 3 kills on the I just get annihilated. So if you're gonna come watch me on Monday, play Call of Duty, expect me to die repeatedly, because I suck. I don't. I just literally have no fucking aim in that game. I don't know. And apparently, one of my friends at work was telling me that people pay for cheats on Call of Duty. And I'm like,
that
what?
doesn't surprise me.
What the fuck is the point in that? How much of a sado do you have to be to fucking pay for cheats on a fucking game? What do you get from that? I'm really good at
feeling of winning.
Yeah, winning to what end? That doesn't show you that you have any ability or anything. It just shows you that you can fucking buy a cheat. Anyways, thank you for coming on this live stream, Jonathan. I appreciate it a lot. I do like. By the way, that was my my Xbox warming up, because guess what I'm gonna go do. In fact, I might stream it tonight. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll end this stream and then start another one. So you can see my awfulness. But where was I going? Where in the fuck was I going? God damn it.
Ending the show. Thank you me for coming on. Thank you.
Yeah. I like this works. I just have to figure out how to transition between being able to show video that you can watch at the same time and my video. I'll figure out a way to do it, but I definitely like this. I like this better than Zoom or Google Meets. Also, I need to find a way to cut some of the side bits off and have it look more like a container. But definitely, I with Jamie in here, I don't think there was any problem that wasn't. I mean,
exterminate.
I think that I'm gonna have to get more Dalek sounds. But yeah, I think this will work. I'm gonna work on it for next month's stream. But thank you for coming on the show. Thank everybody for coming and watching the show. If you want to be on the show, by the way, I just have to say, you too can come into the Discord, but there's one thing. Only if you're a patron can you become a teabagger.
We forgot to mention that until now. Yes, right. The patrons of the Tea Party, Party with Marty, are called the Teabaggers.
Yes. And that wasn't me deciding this. This was an anarchist kind of decision that was made by a vote. Sort of. It's kind of like our what is it? Zakati Park? Is that what it's called? It's our own little version of that on Discord. We decided together, and Jonathan aptly said that we are super mature. We are really mature people.
Yes, this is the server of very mature adults. And it's like, if I did voted to say, yes, we should call ourselves the Teabaggers, I don't remember doing so. But I do approve of the name and approve of the vote.
Because we are mature people.
Yes.
All right.
But
well,
as you were saying, that like they can be a teabagger if they go and join the Patron for the Tea Party, and there's a link to like the link tree, which you can find from typing teapartypodcast.com.
yes, that's T, the letter T, and then partypodcast.com. Anyways, thanks a lot, Jonathan. What was that?
It was just like a Monster juice mixed with the Mayo I've been drinking. So no, it wasn't a screwdriver.
Oh, I thought it was like whiskey or something, because that glass you have kind of looks like a whiskey glass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I used it last night to like drink a cocktail. Yeah. I just rinsed it out and used it again today.
Mountain Dew?
No. There's actually not any Mountain Dew in here. There was some Monster that was in there as well. I just reused the bottle.
Oh, okay. All right. That's all right. I was gonna make some harsh judgments about you, but I'll not.
But I do drink Mountain Dew.
You do the dew.
I do the dew. Mountain Dew is one of my favorite sodas. If I ever drinks the drinks, I call it the urine of the gods.
Oh, piss boy. That gives that a whole new meaning.
Yes.
By the way, if you're too young to remember, that was from History of the World Part 2.
Part 1. I think it was called Part 1.
Are you sure? I think it was Part 2. But I could be wrong.
Pretty sure.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. On the show in the last 20 minutes. Anyways, Jonathan, thank you very much for coming on tonight. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Have a good night. And yeah, thanks for coming on.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for having me.
All right. See you next month, maybe? Could be?
Yes.
Might be?
Yes, most likely.
All right.
Next month, the third Saturday of next month will be the 17th.
I don't know when it'll be. I just know it will be.
I just pulled up the calendar here, so that's how I know.
And like the rest of this fucking show, my ending is not working today. So you get blackness. You get darkness. Hello, darkness, my old
My
friend.
old friend. I'm stalking you again.
Okay. We can do better than that.
We didn't like to play actual copyright music as like.
I'm going to get copyright infringement again. Anyways, have a good night, comrades.
Goodbye. Stay safe and stay as radical as much as you can within your ability. Bye, everyone.
Ciao.